Okay, so no intros and outros today, but if you want to do it, nobody's forcing you to. Nobody's trying to force or pull your arm or anything. Like, share, comments, and of course, hit the bell notification if you really give a crap about my content. Subscribe, my peoples, and watch. Anyways, and follow me on Reddit too. Anyways, Sonic the Hedgehog 4D trailer, 2027 movie, Paramount Pictures. I'm not sure if this is real or fake because it had Amy Rose on the front of the thing. Like I said about my last reaction reviews, thing about Elena from Street Fighter 4, even though I was like 8-9 days old, but better late than never. You're either getting this on a Friday or Saturday. More than likely getting it on a Saturday. By the time you guys see this is like May 2nd or 3rd, so happy May Day. If any of you guys I don't really talk about stuff like politics or any of that, but like the military shit either. But you guys got families or friends or cousins, uncles, and nephews, aunts, even great grandparents or grandparents that did serve in the war. Probably had a good Memorial Day. So happy Memorial Day if you celebrate that here in the United States, of course. Or what else? If you got a mom or anything, if you were close, unless you hated the living shit out of your mom and had a bad relationship, then you probably don't give a fuck. But if you did, if you had a good relationship with your mom's other, happy Mother's Day, because it's the month of May. It's somewhere in the Mother's Day, I don't remember that. That, and of course, there's May the 4th, and then there's that fake old white people. No offense to Caucasians, but usually like a holiday celebration white people actually like celebrate most of the time, Cinco de Mayo or whatever, which that's kind of stupid, but whatever. That's some made up holiday that they decided to do so they can go out drinking and smoking and shit. I really don't fucking care about that much though. Anyways, yeah. Without any interruptions, there's 6 articles I want to get into, story articles after I'm done with this, but obviously this is an old school Sonic fan. If any of you guys see my really super old thumbnails, you know I used to have that Sonic the Hedgehog, the old 1991 to 1996-97 version before it got switched around in 1998-99. Late 90s, early 2000s when they changed a lot more. So there's that. So my thing's probably going to go up too because I always got an alarm from my YouTube thing. It's midnight, 12 o'clock. If you want to change your thing now, it's probably going to happen in a second. So just be aware of that if it happens. So 3, 2, 1, let's get it in. And yeah, enough yapping. Let's jump into it. Hopefully my thing's not too dirty. It's only a minute and 30 seconds, so let's go. I hope this is, even if it's fake, it's a concept trailer. So, because Amy Rose, hey, it's Sonic. I used to love the fuck out of Sonic as a 90s kid, 2000 kid, teenager. Even when I was in my early and late 20s, I still liked it. In my 30s, I still think it's cool. I don't follow all the stuff for Sonic the Hedgehog because the last game that came out, I still might end up playing it eventually. It was the Shadow of the Hedgehog one in November, December. It's like, correlate and like fucking come out almost the same month or two after as the Sonic 3 movie came out because that one's not coming out. Like I said, it's either 2027 maybe or it might be 2028. So yeah, let's really jump into it.
Who are you?
Okay. So this is just another concept trailer.
And then she vanished.
Are you sure you didn't drink that spoiled milk? My whole world is now completely destroyed. I heard some stories about a hero who was able to save his world from destruction.
How did you get here?
I can't believe this is real. Please, if it is you, I need your help.
Another fake bullshit concept trailer.
He came from space and attacked us. It happened so fast we couldn't flee. He has a power I've never seen before. Now, I just don't know what the future holds anymore.
Oh my god. This is the Black Panther shit. Oh, okay. Alright, so I was right about it. Okay, so I'll see you guys in a second. Alright, so wasn't that long, it was only a minute 30 seconds. Yeah. Of course, thoughts, views, takes, cold takes, hot takes, opinions, speculations, massive opinions, armchair seating freaking, not speculations, it's another fucking word for it. I totally forgot what it was. I guess reservation? Observations? Yeah, there it is. Armchair observations like this. For real now. Fuck, where do I even begin? 12 now it's midnight. Yeah, it's not really much to say, like I just said. Like, I'm not surprised. I said at the end on the other two, those were concept trailers. So this wasn't officially from Paramount from 7, 8 days ago. But the time, I guess he was like 10 or 11 days old. So it's way older fake fan made concept trailer. The second I heard that other accent on there, so I was like, okay, I know this shit's it's fake. It's a fake concept trailer. In case you didn't hear what I was saying earlier during the reactions, like I said that okay, so this is just a fake bullshit concept trailer. It's just fan made fan art shit. That's what I said. And it is. And I'm not saying that they did a bad job on it. It looked like some of it was a little AI generated, so of course they used some of the clips from part 2 and part 1 and part 3 of the movies from Sonic the Hedgehog, so I don't know. So it's not officially from Paramount Plus. So if the actual Paramount Pictures, God forbid they see this reaction, but if they see that video, they're probably gonna end up getting it taken down. That's I'm not gonna say it's misinformation or disinformation because I don't believe in that, but it's just fake lies, bullshit, deception. Like kind of fucking over like the Sonic fan series while you're doing this sort of thing, so it's a little fucked up. Whoever it was, it sounded like they were from like Central South America, so it got to be either Hispanic Latinos that were doing this because they had a really thick ass Latina accent, or they were from Brazil for like thick Portuguese accent. I don't know. Because it sounded like they knew Spanish and Portuguese very, very, very fluently. Because they had a super thick ass accent. Obviously, somebody that works with a shitload of brown Spanish Latinos, I hear Spanish all the fucking time. I already know exactly where that accent is from already. Being born and raised around like Hispanic families. I know how thick that fucking accent. Even though one was Puerto Rican, the other one was Mexican. I know how that shit is. So they can't fool me with that bullshit. And with the other race ethnicities, probably, but not with this one. Not this guy right fucking here. And then the last two things I'll say about it is, yeah, it's like, it was a nice try, but it was fake. This might have been like some April Fool's Day or April Fool's sort of month prank or whatever that they were doing. Because it was in April when this happened, 24th or 25th or 26th or whatever. Oh, man. The only part that was different was like this other little portal thing they use. I guess they used a different thing because it didn't look like the Chaos Emerald that they had in their hand. It looked like a different type of like, I don't know, like teleportation crystal device or whatever in order to like gain superpowers or go to like other different dimensions of galaxies and universes than the Sega universe and all that shit. Who knows? What else? Then they showed all the robot Sonic things and Metal Sonics. I remember that. They're all trying to attack Sonic. That's pretty freaking crazy stuff. Very crazy shit, man. Fucking insane, dude. It really is. I guess one small tiny thing to say about it. Yeah, the music kind of sounded convincing, but with like the whole AI thing nowadays, like they could just make music out of anything. And that's the one thing that scares the hell out of me about AI, man. It's just like by the time not even 2030, it might be 2028. It might be 2027 or 2020. It might even be next month. Who knows? Or this year. Or a shitload of people are just going to end up losing their jobs. So AI show has nothing to do with the video, but there was a thing I saw on the mainstream media news, and I can't believe a lot of mainstream media shit, but it was local though, so I don't want to say I believe them more. And it wasn't an alternative media YouTubers thing, or it wasn't from BitChute or Brighteon or Rumble or any of those fucking wild ass conspiracy theory tinfoil hat places. Even though I am in that part of that community for tinfoil hat, like conspiracy theory shit, but I don't believe every single tiny little nook and cranny that the internet says. Because at the end of the day, you got to come to your own freaking decision. Not come to your own compromise, but come to your own conclusions. There we go. The rich white people say, come to your own personalized conclusions. No offense against the white people. I swear I'm not trying to bash that back. If I was doing it to black people, I'd probably think, oh, I'm being racist and shit like that. But already know. There's an old ass history of many Latinos and black people have in this country. I already know that. Some of it's good and some of it's really nasty and violent, unfortunately. Especially if you lived out in Cali or freaking New York City somewhere. Oh, Jesus. God save you if you live there. From the 60s, 70s, or 80s, or even like the 90s when I was growing up at the time. Because I wasn't existing in those 3 decades back then. Until the 90s and 2000s, of course. And all the way to now, 2025. It's not what I'm here to fucking talk about. But yeah, it's crazy, man. I hope it's good. We'll see. It says in 2027, it might be even later, 2028. I don't know. So we'll get to the other thing real fast. Hopefully. To the news stories. It's not
Got
what
to
I
be-
wanted. Alright, see you in a second. Okay, so I haven't talked about this in a long time, but I'm never going to talk about it afterwards. But it is what it is. I might. Just not doing reaction videos to it. It says Overwatch 2 and Gundam Wing collaboration. Everything you need to know. And that was from like 5-6 days ago, but it is what it is from Joey Morris. It's funny. I'm surprised they didn't do this a while ago, back in 2017-18 when Overwatch first became a thing, when it was in the late 2010s, early 2020s, when that game was at its peak form. I remember like everyone at my job, or a few people that were at my job in their 20s and 30s are like, they're still in college, some of them, and then others, they're doing this as a permanent full-time job. Like I'm in my hotel casino place I work at. Some were actually real hyped as shit for that thing back in the day. And others, they gave zero fucks about it because they're old people. They're 75, 80 years old. Of course, they're not going to play no video games unless it was with the Wii, with their grandkids in 2007 to 2012, 2013. And that was a whole different time, though. I'm surprised they didn't do this back from 2017 to like 2020, no, not 2021, because that was when Overwatch was way fucking huge at the time. So I'll just read maybe 2-3 sentences on it real fast. Overwatch 2's crossover Gundam Wing collaboration released on April 29th of last month, 2025, bringing a series of Gundam-inspired cosmetics, including exclusive challenges and more. Yeah, and more. Limited time event from Blizzard's hero shooter celebrates Gundam Wing's 30th anniversary since the Japanese show debuted in 1995. Really? I thought it was like 1978 or 79, 80s or something was when the Gundam series first became a thing. Unless it was the Gundam Wing and Gundam Seed one. It was like the early mid-90s when that came out. Whatever. Honoring one of the most riveting space operas. I don't really call it a space opera. It was more like just an average soap opera, just with anime manga involved. So, the two different celebrity news things here. I'm not going to get too deep into it, but had to do with the guy here, and it's funny enough because it actually involves where I live. Well, not live, but live around the area. I don't live in the hotel. Fuck that. That would be crazy. So, this dude, I remember from 2010, 11, my sophomore, junior, and senior, this fool was blowing up all over the damn place in popularity and fame and wealth and materialism. Like, this guy, Bruno freaking Mars. I remember one of the first songs he did too was like, it was one of those first 2 years or 3 years I was working in my hotel casino job. This dude was huge at the time when they did that old song collaboration with B.O.B. The Bobby Lee, not Bobby Brown, Bobby Lee, Bobby something. Bobby something, I don't remember. Bobby Ray's? I know it's from like, I think Tennessee or Atlanta. He was like one of the Southern Moreno dudes that were from the South. And I think it was Atlanta somewhere. Yeah. No, it was Atlanta. I remember now. So I remember one of his verses was talking about the ATL and shit. Now under 2000 from Outkast from Atlanta, Georgia was really, really huge about the ATL. He was proud as fuck to be from that place. I wish I could say that same thing about here, but I fucking hate living here. It sucks. It is what it is. I have to deal with it until I'm like 60, 70 goddamn years old. Or if I'm lucky in my 40s, 50s. Who knows? All of this story, you're never going to know. Anyways, yes, this is, I'm surprised to say, yeah, Bruno Mars extends Las Vegas residency again. 24 Magic singer keep the party going after Park MGM Grand and Dolby's Live Theater this summer. Definitely of his own free will and unrelated to the alleged gambling addiction. This came from Alex Ocho. Credit to him. It's going to read 3 bits of it. Mr. Bruno Mars is once again extending his Las Vegas residency, and there's nothing too suspicious about it. 24 Magic singer, is absolutely not consistently performing at Park MGM's Dolby Live Theater to pay off an alleged multi-million-dollar gambling debt with the MGM Grand Resorts. Wow. Fun fact, I'm not trying to get too parasocial, but I remember my old, my uncles at the time, he used to work at the MGM Grand thing, and I don't know how the fuck he got work there, but he was lucky that he got that shit in there. But then, he really, oh my god. And every time, once every 2 months or 3 months, whenever I go visit my fam's place, aka parents' place, I know my old man has never liked my uncle, man. He always thought he was a hustler, swindler, and a piece of shit half the time. Unfortunately. But that's further something I freaking talk about that. Cause I'm not giving you my whole life story on that shit. Because it's personal, private information. You guys, unfortunately, you know my YouTube family, but at the end of the day, we're unfortunately just strangers on the internet. That's it. I don't know if 1 or 2 of you people are haters and you're going to try to dox or DDoS me. That's the last fucking thing I want to ever fucking happen. Also, I don't have a billion trillion subscribers, so I doubt that's ever going to happen. That's the reason I never want to get famous on any social media thing. I just want to keep a down low profile for the longest time, as much as I can. Let's keep moving. So this is, yeah, fortunately, my old man really does not like my uncle. It's a bitch, but that's what it is. Yada yada. Announced that the 9 new performances announced set for August 22nd, 23rd, 26th, 27th, 30th, 31st, September 3rd, 5th, and 6th. Mars, who began residency at the Park MGM Grand in 2016, played more than 100 shows in the past 9 years. Damn. It's unfortunate for him. Yeah, that's a damn shame. Life's a gamble, bet on YouTube. It is what it is. Can't really feel bad for him. The dude has so much money and clout, and he's probably sold out his soul to the Illuminati Freemasons anyway, so I don't feel bad he's got to be in debt for his like that. That's what he decided to do. And plus, I remember there was something like in 2018 or 2021, 2022, there was stuff about him having like drugs and the cocaine and shit. Him doing the actual hardcore ass stuff that can unalive you very quickly. And it's not as fast as the fentanyl, so that's way worse. Thank God I never dabbled in any of that shit, but whatever, fuck him, I don't care. Alright, so, this one, I remember, like, hearing about it last month, and then I know that whole Sony State of Play thing happened about 2-3 days ago. By the time you guys see it was like 5 or 6 days ago, almost a week old. But I watched most of it myself. The only 2 things I liked about it is they showed a remaster for Streets of fucking Rage. Streets of Rage, dude. That was a throwback for me in my childhood. That and then there was this other game. I don't know if it was like a Hitman thing or something else. I think it was another game. I know it was another game I really wanted to play for the longest time. Other than that, I didn't care about the rest of the stuff. I'll leave it down in the description box below. It says, Ghost of Yote comes out for the PlayStation 5. I remember, I think it was like 2019 or 2020. I don't know if it was like Sekiro Shadows Die Twice or Ghost of Tsushima, because I never got to play any of those, but I looked at a lot of gameplay for that shit. Bro. Good fucking God, that's one of the best. Not woke, not SJW. It wasn't politicized. It wasn't fucking generalizing, oh, girl boss bullshit energy or the stupid ass faggot bullshit crap. That you try to push agendas and left and all that stuff, right? Or some LGBTQ pronoun shit. They weren't pushing none of that crap. And this is during the time from 2017 to now where all that shit was really huge on social media. And like I always say before, I'll say it again. I don't have no hatred to anyone in LGBTQIA, they, them community. Just, I don't like the ones that try to hurt and try to, like, be predators to little fucking kids. I don't like that shit at fucking goddamn all. People that do that shit deserve to fucking burn in hell for the rest of their life, in my opinion. And I know not every person that's a bisexual or gay or transgender is, like, not a freaking child, you know what. But it's just, unfortunately, for me personally, it's just, that's a big fucking no-no. I'm not even a person that has a son or daughter myself, but I was raising a son or daughter. God forbid if that was the day they came out to me and that they were that type of person. I hate to hear community and outside, and I'm gonna shit on me for this. It is what it is. If you came to this video, and if you are subscribed to me and you happen to be in that type of community lifestyle, you're probably gonna unsubscribe after I say this, but it was fun while it lasted. There's the door. Just saying. There's the unsubscribe button. I'm just saying. Not all of you unsubscribe, but some if you do, hey, it is what it is. I gotta say my opinion. I'd have to resent them. 100%. I would resent them and kick them the fuck out of my goddamn house because I am not having any of that freaking shit in my goddamn house. Not at all. No way. That's a no-go at all. If I would have some son or daughter, I did that. Like, even after I raised him to be a straight person, actual good straight person, a good human being, good citizen, a good, like, not evangelical Christian, but just have good morals and values. Even if it's not evangelical Christian, like, I still want to have good morals and values regardless. Cause I wouldn't Bible thump him like how my old man did to me. Fuck that. No way. I wouldn't do that to them or force them to go to church or believe in Jesus, Father, Son, Holy Spirit. And if they want to do that, that's completely their decision. But not any of the other left crazy bullshit either. Nah. So that's why hopefully Ghost of Yote stays the same as Ghost of Tsushima. It looks like it's the same ones that made Ghost of Tsushima too, because it has that same logo and the same like font and all that. So it's got to be the same studio that made this. So, oh, dude, I'm hyped as hell for this, bro. Let's read a tiny bit real fast. Been nearly 5 years since we shipped Ghost of Tsushima, and now, in the times we've been hard at work making Ghost of Yote something special. While the stories is unrelated, it's important to us to make it worth a follow-up. Oh, okay, so it's the same thing as Ghost of Tsushima. It's just a follow-up story, okay, to Jin's journey. We can't wait for you to experience Atsu's quest for vengeance later this year. Oh, dude. This is why I gotta get a PS5, man. I can't wait for that shit. It's gonna be awesome. Completely unrelated, I decided like, what's it called? I was gonna say this best for last, but that's what it is. If you guys want to say best for last, I heard this one on mainstream media news too. I was wondering if I should talk about it because in those in the 90s, 2000s, I used to love those old school mafia, freaking Italian mafia style movies that they do, like in Martin Scorsese's always made. Even though the other one wasn't 2 years ago or last year when they made that Killers of the Flower Moon thing, had nothing really to do with that, but it was still alright. But I had a few woke things that pissed me off a little bit, but it's fortunate the day and age we're in. This is a new story documentary featuring one of the last interviews with Pope Francis. It's in the word for Martin Scorsese's, and scholars' occurrences. It's from Justin Kroll from Deadline. I mean, the dude, he did so many badass movies with this big OG3. Even though, granted, I know they're more for Hollywood and all that. But when I was on my nostalgia classes, they had it for freaking Al Pacino and Joe Pesci and Robert De Niro and all that. Like, those fools were the GOAT back in the day, man. Even when he was up and coming when he was younger, even though he was older than I am, he's like 43, 48, 49. I don't know. I know he's just older than I am. Freaking Leonardo DiCaprio was coming up. Like, that's like the only 4 or 5 people he works with ever. He never works with anyone else except for those 4 or maybe 5 people. I think once in a while he might work with Christopher Walken too. I don't know. So this is, yeah. Just read a tiny bit of it. Links to the description box below if you want to check that out. It was 25 minutes. Holy shit. I only got 2 more, I think, and that's it. Maybe 1 more. I don't know. Even after his passings, a lifelong passion project of Pope Francis looks to be coming together within a film, Deus. A new story with a new feature-length documentary worldwide cultural project developed by scholars' occurrences. I want to say that right. Occurrence or Correntes. Global education movement founded by Pope Francis in collaboration with the Academy Award-winning director Martin Scorsese. So yeah, I hope this shit's good. I mean, this man is an OG icon. I was even thanking God. I was like, honestly, like, I was even able to exist in the same time this mega ultra star full back in the day. Martin Scorsese was still alive in the same time that I was alive. You know, dude's old enough to be my grandpa or my great-grandpa, but dude, his shit is OG as fuck. He's like the freaking, I would even say as far as those other guys. The ones, all the Japanese dudes that make anime manga stuff, especially that one big dude, like Hayao Miyazaki. He's like the Hayao Miyazaki, but for like movies, live action movies with Italian mafia, old school stories. His shit was that fucking pinnacle. in my opinion. And just me giving an opinion. And then it's the last two. I'm not going to get too deep into it, but I haven't talked nothing about this man for the past couple of months. What, 8-10 months at the most? Maybe a year? But, has something to do with the OG guy himself, Felix Kallenberg. Nowadays, I'll probably be like the other fool, like, I guess, XQC, but nah. He's more Canadian French, though. He doesn't like Switzerland or Finnish, Sweden or Finland, I think. PewDiePie, aka Felix Kallenberg, says, please do not try Arch Linux just because PewDiePie did it. This is a really long thing. It's from a Reddit post. I couldn't find no articles on this. I just heard it from, like, what's it called? It was from this VTuber chick named Leaflet Azade. I know she gets a little bit into politics here, but she does other stuff too. That's the reason I like watching her. So it's fun to hear. So it says this person, they did a Reddit post on that a couple days ago. So it says, there's something that bothers me, something that doesn't add up. PewDiePie does a bunch of things on Arc or Arch, however you say that many old timers would have trouble reproducing. Sure, given the time of a bit of effort, all of those things are possible, but quite a few things he did in the video are not beginner things, and certainly not just 5 minutes of Googling. The things that doesn't add up, him calling himself not a technical guy and then going ahead with a notoriously hard distro and doing a bunch of things are arguably things that take off effort. Lastly, I do not fear that he did the Linux, however you say it, I think it's Linux, community a disfavor by basically promoting Arch Linux, Arch Linux, despite his disclaimers and explanation that it is difficult to use distro, not technical people, whom hopefully I'm wrong, TLDR, try some of the distro before you jump into Arch. There's some other stuff. I think people don't know the man, the myth, the legend himself. Obviously, the guy, I don't know if they're going to show. Obviously, this man needs no introduction, but if you've been living under a rock for the past 15, 16 years, or if you were like a Gen Z or millennial fool, like how I was, mainly millennials, but I know most of his fans were more like, I think their fans might have been millennials and Gen Z, who knows? I'm be surprised Gen Z liked him a lot more, who knows? The guy needs no introduction. I think he had to retire for a little bit. He ended up moving from, I think Sweden, Switzerland. I forget where he was born at. I know he was from the Netherlands somewhere. Or like, I think he was born in Finland. I don't know where. I just know the fool's from Europe. And after that, I think he moved to Italy for a few months or years. And after that, he moved to Japan. He got to live the life of an actual otaku weeaboo. IRL. So, granted, back in the days, he used to annoy the shit out of me like Logan Paul, but he wasn't as messed up and notorious, and he wasn't no scam artist motherfucker the way Logan Paul was. So at least PewDiePie, aka Felix Kallenberg, he got the good life. Granted, I did hear a couple of rumors that he might have been a Freemason, Satanist, Illuminati. I hope to God he wasn't, because if he was, then he just got all that shit handed to him, which sucks. I hope that ain't the case. And the last one here. Oh, yeah. This one was pretty funny. I still haven't even watched the first 5-6 episodes for The Last of Us. I still gotta get on top of that bitch, dude. So this one says, The Last of Us fans upset Caitlin Dever is not having ripped a game. Yeah, not having ripped as a gamer Abby. Yeah, it's long story short, this chick Caitlin Dever, and I've seen a lot of the gameplay for this too. I'm glad I never played Last of Us 2. I never really liked the first one either, even though the first one pretty iconic. Even though it does have a lot of stuff that I like besides the sci-fi shit. It's got the whole Armageddon, another world, apocalyptic sort of shit where all these things become like, they're not called zombies. They're called like, I don't know if they're leakers or creakers or leckers. I don't know if they're lurkers or leakers, creakers. I think they're called cleakers in that universe. They're not called like, zombies like they would traditionally be called. A lot of people got pissed off that she wasn't super riffed and buffed the way Abby was in the game for The Last of Us 2. You already know how I feel about that one. That was probably one of the most sickest, craziest, absolutely disgusting ass, fucked up freaking games in a long time I've seen. Not even because of the political bullshit, because it was woke and all that. And the dude, Neil Druckmann, he was like real woke with a lot of this shit, and he stood more on that side of like politics, which I hate fucking talking about with a passion. You know this already from been on my channel for several plus years. You know about this, but dude, I don't want to say like I don't blame her for like taking that role, and she wasn't gonna be as buff as hell. Like, oh, but the original Happy was like almost like a guy. She was buff as shit to the max. And I know that's other people 2 weeks ago or last week or the week before when this rant was going on. A lot of fan bases were pissed off about this. Like, oh, she needs to be more buffer like her. Like, there's no way in heck you can actually be that buff because in the future you can't have the steroid injections to like make yourself that big of a Mr. or Mrs. Olympian person of 2025. You know, like, and then those others saying, oh no, there's a way you can do it. You could just gotta do this for 3-6 months and then you get a body buffer than the old school Arnold Schwarzenegger fool from back in the day. Anyways, that's all I'll say for no matter here. I'm out for today. Peace out and sauerkraut. Let's goodbye. See you on the flip side. Take it easy when I'm out. Just straight, so extra caution. I'll tell you guys soon. Goodbye. Take care, and see you guys in the next future video. Take it easy, one. Goodbye.